Hey!
Yo!
What's up?
Hello.
Chillin'. How are you guys?
Good.
Woo.
Cheers.
Cheers. I would cheers to you, but my water bottle just fell. So.
We don't even have one. So it's not like, I mean, we could get one.
Whatever feels right. Oh. All right. So what's up? What's going on? It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a minute. Glad to see you guys doing cool stuff. Like, obviously been watching SightCast and all that, and all the cool stuff that you guys are putting out.
Thank you.
I threw my hat in the ring, and I'm putting out an album, and Kat is also part of that project.
Nice.
A Latin firm. We are doing our first debut album, WFRSDE, with our band, The Space Station. And it's been really fun. We're going to go record after this, actually. We're doing the last song on the album, and then it's all in the producer's hands, and I can panic about that for the next 2 to 3 weeks.
That's always fun, right?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I see that you've been grinding, and I saw just on so you two have only known each other for like a few weeks. Is that what the thing is?
Yeah, like a month at the most.
That's crazy. Tell us about that.
Aladdin came in and like has been basically living on my couch for the past like 2 weeks, and like from when we get up to like when we go to bed, it's recording, writing, doing stuff for the live stream that's happening on New Year's.
Right.
The album,
Right, that's
like
so
all
cool.
that stuff.
Wait. So how did that like come together? Like,
Yeah,
so
how
like
did you
you
guys
were
meet?
already working on the album, or like you met and you're like, oh fuck it, let's do the album. Like, you know what I mean? Like.
So like I've technically been working on this album for 4 years.
Okay.
I was working in a studio, and I just really hated the environment that I was in, because there was a lot of people like looking for like major label success or who already had major label success.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of like skipped and like went to go like write in the woods for like a couple days, and
Nice.
this was like the start of that.
Yeah.
Over quarantine, picked it back up, and because my buddy, our producer Kevin O'Brien, was like, dude, you should like take this up again. Like, you were really going somewhere with this. And then we met Aladdin and threw all of that out and wrote an entirely different album.
I'm so sorry.
Whoa, that's cool though, because it just really shows that you never know how the journey is gonna go.
Yeah, that's true. It's definitely true.
Yeah, for sure.
That's awesome.
It's not really. We did the first single, the day that Aladdin came here, we recorded and wrote the single that they're on. And I was like, okay, like, thanks for the future, but like, do you want to be in my band? Because like, and like now I have all these ideas. And I'm like, oh, and you tap dance and you act and all. Like, let's just, all right, cool, you're here.
Wait, you said you wrote and recorded the song the first day?
Within 8 hours.
Within like 8 or 9 hours.
Whoa, that's dope.
That's crazy. That's in a good way.
Yeah, we sat in this room and banged out a song in a day.
Yep.
And then the studio was already like set up. You had already had like studio time ready, or like you were like, oh, okay, now let's do it.
We've been recording it all like right here.
It's DIY.
Yeah.
That's
how you do it. That's how you gotta do it.
Yeah, definitely.
Kevin came in for like a weekend, and like I like paid him like $80. So I was like, I know it's not your usual studio fee, but I'll pay you, and I can like like cover your food and all that, so your mom doesn't hate me. And I've known since I was like 14, and he came in and we recorded day by day here. And we're like, that sounds like a real song, like a real.
It does.
Yeah.
It really does.
It was crazy. And then like we had like our manager JD check it out, and then like all this stuff happened from that because like so many people like that song. So we just said, well, fuck it, if we can do it here, then like why even bother with the studio? Now I have the studio right here.
Yo, we're in the same boat.
Exactly. Not to say that
It sounds fire. It sounds incredible.
Yeah. Yeah, and the producer that we use is just as great too. It's like nothing against him, but it was like, okay, well, let's just save a trip and like a studio fee and put it into something else, like,
Yeah.
The thing is, like, that it's becoming so much more apparent, especially now after, quarantine and everybody is kind of, separated, is that if you know what you're doing, you don't need too much. Like, you don't need the most expensive equipment. Right. You don't need the greatest microphone, this software, that. If you know how to use it, you can make it sound good.
Yeah.
Period. You just gotta have the dedication.
Like some tin cans that I stitched together in a refurbished 2002.
Sometimes that's all you need.
Yeah, it's terrible. It just looks like they're gonna think I'm the Unabomber in here. It's like a 90s hacker room, and it's just wires and like conspiracy theory stuff all over the place.
That's hilarious.
Good hallucination thoughts in the comments. Good point. They were saying that some bands probably spend more money on recording than they actually do make from the music, and I would say most bands probably do.
Yeah.
If they're going to a legit studio, like, and paying all that money, what is it, $200, $300 an hour,
An
whatever.
hour, yeah.
That adds up.
For sure, 'cause you're paying the first 2 hours that you're paying for. With a good producer, they're set up, they're ready to go, and you jump in, you hit whatever you have to work on that day, and you're out.
Right.
But then you have situations where that guy will waste like 2 hours of your time, and you're just watching him plug stuff in. And you're like, bro, like what the fuck? Like that's $100, and I've done nothing. Like,
Yeah.
This is not cost effective.
And then some of them charge you separately for the mix down too. Like, then you have that added into it. Like, it's like, whoa.
And like I get it, you have to you have to cover your own, bottom line and all, but at the same time, like musicians are not the most affluent people, especially starting out.
Yeah.
Like, we spent all our money on this. Like this is everything I have that I'm giving you right now.
I always marveled at that because I used to walk into a producer's studio and they would be like not that much older than I was, and they would have this whole setup and be like, how in the world like did you get this? And some of them and then a lot of them give you their beats, right? They give you the beats and then they're like, if the song makes money, we split it. Like you pay them, for an hourly rate. Like some of the studios were like $30, $40 if you knew people in New York. And they would just give you the beats. But everybody in somebody's neighborhood is like a beat maker. This beats is fire. The beats are good. But anyway. You tap dance, Kat? What did you just say?
Let's not walk by that.
Yay, dancers!
Let's not dance by that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, I've been tap dancing since I was 4 years old. I started at the studio that was down the street from my house, and then later went on to study exclusively tap, and then was mentored by a man whose name was Professor Robert L. Reed. His mentor was Maceo Anderson, who was one of the Four Step Brothers. And the Four Step Brothers had broken a lot of color barriers in the entertainment industry. So to have that family legacy, that's kind of how the tap community operates, is sort of family legacies. So to have, that family legacy and just an appreciation for jazz music and musicality in general. I've been tap dancing for a long time, and I teach now too. So.
That's awesome.
Hell yeah. Wait, so where did you grow up?
I grew up right outside of Detroit in Dearborn, Michigan. It's super boring.
Sounds cold.
Why I laugh. No, just kidding. I do have a lot of pride for the Midwest, but I mean, I love Brooklyn. I love New York, so I moved here. I moved here to go to drama school. In 2016.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So then I know you've taken dance classes at all the dance studios then. So at Steps and Perry Dance and BDC and okay, cool.
Yeah, BDC. There was a period of time where I was going every week to BDC.
Oh yeah.
Jason Samuel Smith, his parents are the reason that BDC exists, and I know Jason because he knew my teacher.
I took classes from Sue a lot, and so I know Elka and Jason too, that.
Oh, so you know Jason?
I've taken his mom's class, but I know him through network and stuff that. His mom I know though. I know Sue because I was a student of hers. In 2009.
Legendary.
Yeah, exactly. I was I gotta take her class. But so that's super cool. I dance as well, so that's why I'm just
I wear J Sam's tap shoes.
Okay.
I was so honored. The other day he put one of my videos of me in his tap shoes on his Instagram story.
Nice.
Oh my god, because he's one of those people that, and he has said this to my face, I don't compliment people if I don't mean it. If so for him to put that on his story, it had no context, just threw it up there, that means, hey, I liked this thing.
Right.
I was sitting here and I was oh my god, because to me that's such a big deal. I'm oh my god,
that's awesome.
Video. He's lovely. I love him.
Oh my gosh, I'll take your Instagram handle. We should probably do something dancey one day.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yes, that'd be so cool.
Yeah, find me.
And I'll spectate.
Yeah.
Be good job.
Yeah.
Well, Eddie, you said she was a tap dancer.
I'm not trying to fall and bust my face.
Yeah, got you. Legs, nope. That's not the part that I focus on at all. As long as I use my hands, I'm good.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we were just talking about that.
I just have a problem with the whole being coordinated thing. That's really my issue.
Exactly.
If you can walk, you can tap dance.
Yeah. No, if you can like
sometimes
play,
I can walk. Sometimes
if you can play guitar and keep the beat, you better know how to dance. So you just don't want to. Like,
I have mastered the art of standing, but looking like I'm
okay, but like, okay, here's the thing though.
I'll try anything.
If you're a musician, you already have a leg up, like no pun intended. You already have a leg up on people who aren't, because tap dancing involves so much music. I mean, it's percussion.
Rhythm, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's literally is a percussion. You're just drumming, but with your feet.
No, I get that. I'm just like, I've never been good at sports. I've never been good at anything with my body except like playing guitar. So like all of my coordination is like right here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The leg up is rhythm, but the leg down is that you spent your entire life sitting down and not using your legs.
Everything's just atrophy. Yeah.
That's funny.
That's fair.
So, what do you think, just like, what has been your favorite aspect of recording and working on the album so far?
So, for me, it's definitely, like I said, I spent a lot of time kind of cutting my teeth in like the studio scene and the live scene.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, when quarantine happened, I couldn't do either of those things anymore.
Right.
And wanted to get back into music full time again, and realized like, oh, cool, I don't have to deal with like producers and people constantly pointing cameras at me while I'm trying to work and stuff because they want to get like, that candid shot.
The behind the scenes and all that, yeah.
It's just a lot, like it's a lot. Whereas here I can control, like I can just like, cool, like if I want to come in today and do a session where it's just me, like that's fucking dope. I can just sit here and fuck around, and usually it's a waste of a day. It really is. It's me making spaceship noises and trying to get like the shuttle Columbia launch to line up with this one trap beat.
Hey, if you're making something, it's not a waste.
Right.
It's part of the process. So like that's been really cool, just the freedom to really explore and have nobody really tell me, oh, that doesn't work or that doesn't work, because I can kind of, you know, from a genre standpoint, they don't really care if it works or not. I just want it to sound good. And focusing on that has been really, really cool. And then
so really, like having your own environment is like a big,
Like there's no, like if there's anyone here that like comes in where it's like not, like it's just not working, I'm within my rights to not like take them out and be like, hey, like this is kind of not working.
Get the fuck out of here. Yeah.
I mean, honestly, if it came to that.
I hope it never comes to that.
Me too.
On the Bronx, it's not.
Yeah.
But and the other thing is just been working with Aladdin has been really cool because I worked with a lot of singers when I was in the studio, but it was very like they're up here and I'm down here and I have to do whatever they want me to do. Whereas it was been fully collaborative. We just like we work on stuff. Sometimes one of us likes it and the other one doesn't, and we'll just scrap it and try something different. But like, I haven't had that kind of collaboration in a really long time because a lot of my stuff has been like just straight up like trade work where I'm just like by myself. So like that's really fun.
Yeah,
I know what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, for me too I mean, Eddie really has just fostered such a like horizontal collaborative environment. I don't think I have clicked with another artist so instantly and so like we're just, I mean, for the most part we are on the same page.
Yeah.
Like, and if we disagree with something, like it's so easy to just talk about it. You know, I come from a dance and acting background, and those are collaborative art forms, but I'm used to being in environments where it's like, this is your choreography or this is this thing, and like being this, I like to do and say what I want when I want, and sometimes, you know, as much as I love dancing and acting, sometimes you don't always get that freedom. And
because it's kind of prepared for you, right? It's like this is what you like. They're giving it to you instead of you creating it yourself in a way, right? Sometimes.
No, like that song Dance Monkey is like a real song. Like that song, the Dance Monkey, right? Because it's like, how high do you want me to jump? Where do you want me to split? Okay, I'm sad today. I'm not hungry. My feet don't hurt. Like, it's like, like that's what dance is. Unless you're your own choreographer, unless you're like, screw this, I'm just gonna... Like,
and the dance company that I was in that is unfortunately on indefinite hiatus because, you know, gestures to the everything. But they did give me space to be able to choreograph, and they did try to keep it as a horizontal environment as possible. But you know, anyway, not the point. The point is, I really like being able to do what I want and when I want, and with people who kind of have a similar vision, which is really like that's really cool because Eddie and I do have different life experiences, but are able to arrive at kind of a same place, which is really really cool and fun. I don't know, like I said, I haven't clicked with somebody so instantly ever before. Like, we became best friends in one day. It was kind of crazy.
Like, over 9 hours was just like, okay, cool, I know every bad thing that ever happened to you, and vice versa.
We're going to write the song, then make the song, then we're best friends.
Also had a song, like, happen, like, and the song has nothing to do with anything. It's
talking,
like, it's just me brag rapping for, like, 2 minutes, and then this one doing a very lovely feature. They have a beautiful voice.
Oh, thank you.
Kind of overcuts the fact that I sound like Adam Sandler if you hit his
That's not true. He's really underselling this. He's really underselling this a lot.
It's a good track.
It is a good track. No. Man's got bars, like, no doubt. Like, he kills it. He kills it. And he's underselling how hard he works too, because I watched him do it over and over and over and over until he got exactly what he wanted.
Right.
Because I've also seen, I won't name names because that's rude, but I have seen artists be like, everything I do is gold. And I've fallen in love with every single word that I've written. And you can't tell me otherwise. Where I
hate everything I've ever done.
Well, but you.
The minute it's done, I'm like,
you are able
better.
to self-critique.
I've been there.
He is able to self-critique, and also we are able to critique each other in a nice way and receive that criticism of like, I see what you were going for, but it doesn't really work. Whereas I know some people who are like, maybe I can't have possibly made a mistake. And then they wonder why their stuff is trash, and they wonder why other people don't respond to it.
And they take any criticism so personally, right?
Yeah.
Right, and it's so hard to receive criticism because art is so personal and it is so vulnerable. But like, to be able to be like, you know what, I could do better without running yourself into the ground, because definitely there's a cap on that also. But of being like, you know what? That was good, but I bet I could do another one. And then you assess from there.
Right.
I know some people who are really not capable of doing that and being in that.
You sure you don't want to say any names?
Exactly.
No.
Now you're making me not want to say names.
No. It's just.
No, I know what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm just saying that those are unfortunately environments that I've had to like exist in, and that's. It's uncomfy. It's uncomfy.
Well, they just did it.
Not that.
Yeah.
Such a breath of fresh air. Oh my god.
Right.
There were a lot of rappers who, like, because of just what I look like and how I act, I'm like dopey, kind of like very non-assuming person. Like, I'm not. Confrontation is not really my bag. I don't really do that anymore. So like, guys would
anymore. Keyword.
Yeah, they would get like, well, because they would get big on me, and I'm like, Man, I'm just here because I need money. I don't. It's not part of this. I make $15 an hour, and like even then, kind of. So like, it's not like, having that constant like everything I do is amazing. Everything. Like, what do you mean? This shit's grabbing. No, it's fantastic, but I need to get another take for safety. He goes, who needs safety? Everybody. Like, it's not about you.
Oh, that must be so annoying.
The way this works, like, I can't. It's nothing to do with you. I just need this take.
It's a craft. It's
a
craft. And people don't understand that sometimes.
Well, you get out what you put in. You get out what you put in. If you do one take, oh yeah, whatever, then, and like when you listen to something and you can tell like the hours and the time put in, like you can tell. Versus if somebody's just like, oh yeah, just take the first one, whatever. Like you, as a listener or as just a consumer of art, like you can tell.
Yeah. Like Jukebox Hero isn't one take.
And that's the thing that I think a lot of, unfortunately, artists don't often think about, or at least young people, in my experience anyway, is that like audiences can tell, and people are like, oh well, no one will know, and it's like you can only get away with that so much because like we all have been audience members our entire life, right?
Yes.
You don't realize like you've been watching, listening, and responding to things your whole life, so people can tell. It comes across.
Yeah.
Right. That's true. That's a very good point. Yeah. I didn't even think about it like that.
Yeah, you are an expert audience member. You know what you respond to.
Right.
So
Yeah, that's a good point.
I'm so like hard on myself because I'm like, I know that like I would never say these things about another artist. Like it's only I don't do it to myself. Or I'm like, I'll watch videos. I'm like, I could have been better there. That could have been more effective. That was a choice that I made.
Right.
Yeah,
but that's how you get better.
Yeah.
That's how you.
That's how you get better. That's how you improve. You see things. Oh, I could have done that better. So the next time you do it, you'll be thinking about that in your head. I'm not going to do it the same way. I want to do it like this instead. And then you get to see the results, and you can judge, and you can not vice versa. You can compare whatever what it's done, and you'll know.
Yeah, I don't really judge like indie artists, like people that are like our level, but like the famous artists, I'll judge them. Like you can do better than that. Like what?
If you have a $5,000 like an hour studio, then like that shit better sound amazing. That would be the greatest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
So otherwise, why would I listen to you when I can make the same shit in my ranky ass closet? You know,
Right.
Whatever.
Right.
Yeah. I just watched a documentary talking about names, a famous artist who has no name, and like he like was a total egomaniac, and you can tell right at the point where he really became an egomaniac, like that he refused to like he refused to compromise on like anything, and it was like the beginning of the end for this artist. But if you want to know,
Was it Rick James?
No. It's an artist. It's literally an artist that has no name.
Oh.
You look up $100 million record deal, and it's like
Okay.
the first person that pops up. Like it was like watching like I remember like hearing it, but like watching the documentary and like remembering that in time is just like, yeah, this is crazy. Like, you know, he just like took it a little too far. Like, you know, with what he wanted out of his music and with the record company.
So I have another question about the album. So, well, I guess there's a lot of parts to it because you said, I mean, you had been working on it originally for 4 years, and then y'all met and basically just like pressed the restart button more or less, right?
Right.
So is it like, do you still like, do you have like a concept, like it's going to be this many songs, it's going to be like this kind of order, or is it still kind of evolving as you go through it? Maybe it's not going to be like that when you first thought, but this works better. Like, is it, you know what I mean? Like, what's the progression been like?
So I think that now that we're so close to the release date, we're a lot firmer about like what songs are going where and like what it's going to sound like. It's been a really fun mix of stuff from that original album that I've kind of recontextualized, and then new stuff based on what I picked up. I joked that I picked up 2 skills in quarantine, making beats and rolling joints, and both of those have served me very well over the past 6 months.
I bet. Yeah, hell yeah.
The stress of the other, and it was just like I wanted to explore that. I was like, well, these beats are fun, and I'm making all this stuff for other rappers, but like I kept like putting my own stuff on it just to see what it sounded like, and I was like, well, fuck it then. Like if I'm gonna do that and I like it, then why shouldn't I release it? Like if I enjoy it, maybe somebody else will.
Right.
Yeah.
Like these beats just started to take form where me and the producer Kevin, like so we've been best friends since we were 14, and most of that friendship has just been getting really stoned and watching Star Wars.
Nice.
Like we worship John Williams, me and him having these space orchestras that we used to write when we were like in music theory class together and stuff like that. And so it's a healthy mix of all of that. Like even the original album was still very steeped in that. It was a lot of me writing about my dad passing when I was about 11, and kind of like exploring that like idea of he's still out there, and from there came a lot of like the space imagery and things like that.
Right.
You know, I won't go into the whole biopic, but it's all kind of just a mix of influences from when I was a lot younger, and dealing with that over the course of just recording and writing this. I've been like coming to terms with a lot of stuff with that, and like facing grief in a way that I haven't before, which has been really interesting. And I've been having a lot of fun with it, and I hope other people do too, because I think the music is really good. I think it's the best stuff I've ever made.
Hell yeah.
Do any of these things, and now I'm just like, oh yeah, sure. Like, what? That's incredible. Like that's like real like trackable progress.
Oh, and I had no idea that I could do any of this at all ever.
Well, that's a nice surprise then.
Yeah, I mean, so when Eddie had asked if I wanted to be in the band, I mean, he laughed at me because I was like, I've always wanted somebody to ask me that question, and I like started to get like a little weird and a little emotional. I'm not gonna lie. He goes, okay, you don't. I offered you the gig. You don't have to give it.
It was so like,
Shut the fuck up.
I knew
That's
if
great.
I got off the bus from Nowheresville, I would be a star, mama. And I'm like, dude, I like a production schedule, and I have things to do today, and I need to get this done. Otherwise, my manager's gonna yell at me.
Fuck off.
That's hilarious.
That's funny.
Like, I hate to break the mystique and like the old Hollywood like romanticism. I'm like, no, like this is a real job that I have to do. Otherwise, I can't live here anymore. I need to pay rent. I need to get this fucking out and go.
There's
Stop
bills and
spreading
shit.
news. Yeah, seriously. Like I was, living my like Broadway dream fantasy.
It was very endearing, and that's why I think Aladdin is such a great performer because they are so genuine and endearing with everything they do that like. You can't help but be like, no, I respect that. Like, the features on this are insane. Like, I can't even, other than space opera, I really can't. It's so dramatic, and it's everything I want. It's that thing, like, all the sounds in my head, like, usually I'm like, okay, I'll never really recreate that, but now that's, like, happening, and that's been so fucking weird to, like,
Hell yeah.
And that's the thing, is, like, I'm so, obviously, you know this, I'm a giant David Bowie stan, which is, like, why I present myself the way I do. Like that is the lens through which like I kind of look at things. And so yeah, just this like the weird space, everything. It's everything that I want.
Oh
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
But
Shut that
Got a connection. You back?
Oh wait, all right.
Oh, okay, we're good. Sorry.
Wait,
Yep,
we're choppy. Yeah, they're choppy.
oh,
Yay!
That was good. I like that. That's a good test if that ever happens again.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Please continue.
No, I mean it's been really cool. It's funny because like all of their aesthetic stuff links up so well with like the things that like I make when I'm writing music. That was like, why would I not have this person in my band like that?
Right. It all just lined up.
Physical representation of what in case I really needed to spoon feed it to you dummies. I'm gonna have this when tap dance hit a soft shoe and have just space makeup and the whole nine.
Hey, sometimes things just line up like that. It's crazy. I mean, the universe had its own plan sometimes, you know?
Speaking of making music, remember you talked about like scoring something. Is that something that you do normally? Score like projects and stuff?
So I am a bit of a freelancer in the music industry now that I no longer want to do the studio stuff. And one of the most fun projects that I've had over the past year is that I got to score a porno.
Oh man.
Okay.
Like, not like it just fell into my, because I was doing a podcast with people.
Oh, it fell into your lap, did it?
Listen to me, okay? I was doing a podcast with people who were in the OnlyFans community and Pornhub and like adult content creators doing stuff on like sex worker rights and things of that sort around the protest. And a bunch of people reached out, and I got to do a lot of really cool stuff for Pornhub where like my Instagram handle is just all over that place now. And I was doing like beats for adult content, and like that was absolutely insane. It was a really fun project. I did it for a few months. Would absolutely do it again.
So
Really
like they literally like they'll send you a video and then like you'll have a TV and like a keyboard and just be like bum bum bum.
Sometimes yeah. So there's a couple times of like downbeating things to things that like would make my priest cry. And I'm like,
Oh my gosh.
Yo.
or if I've just made like the career move of the century. I cannot tell yet.
That's hilarious.
It sounds like it, I don't know. Did they pay a lot? It sounds like they would pay a lot.
They pay well. They
Yeah.
pay more than I thought.
Yes, that's what I. Yeah.
Such a job that I
That's
could
what
do
it
from
seems
home
like.
in, like 20 minutes. Sometimes they would just send me like a vibe. They're like, hey, I'm looking for like something that's like go for like anime, like kind of like Comic-Con vibe. I have like they'll give me like aesthetics and handles, and I have to use that to make something.
Okay.
And, like that's a little more like just kind of like me sitting there and like typical producer, just
Sounds
like
amazing.
Right,
like,
right.
okay, fucking whatever, boom, it's out.
That's
But
every
it's-
man's dream.
and-
Wow.
And after a while, because like you're doing a job, so like you're not like jerking off, like you're fucking like making it. You're just like going back.
You're like, I'm trying to get paid.
That's like-
and, like
Dude, that's like a film short that you can do. Eddie makes a porno. Eddie scores a porno. You heard it here first. Eddie's gonna do it.
Yo, that
You can
yeah,
just
you
have
can make
them-
like a documentary or something.
Right, it could
about,
be like the
that.
camera's behind the laptop or whatever. It's just showing your
No,
face. Like you're like trying to score it, but then you're like, what the?
No, it's not, because it's so unromantic. It's literally just me in a hoodie and my pajamas with like Cheetos on my face. And
That would
That's
still be
why.
good,
That's
though.
why it's interesting.
That
though.
would still
That's
be
why it's
good.
interesting because people would think of they expect to see a certain thing and they're like, this is the reality of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's just
I don't
so.
know.
Like,
I think it would be
Okay,
interesting.
It'd be good.
I would watch it.
So written and directed.
Yeah.
Sorry, Eddie Crash.
It's like
We'll
also
just take executive producer.
right. Also made me want Cheetos right now for some reason.
Yeah, we gotta get Cheetos now after this.
You know what? I think we should do this short film and enter it in Sundance.
I don't even
think
have.
that's
I already have.
It's
so
the logical
many things to do
conclusion.
right now.
Okay, well, we can just like storyboard it and like put that for later. It's fine.
Just add it to the list.
Get into it, Eddie. Get into it.
It's the coming of age story.
Oh, that's the tagline right there. That was good.
I hate. Anyway.
I really don't know how he hasn't smothered me in my sleep.
I'm just trying to figure out how I can get out of this conversation.
You're like, what can I change the subject to?
Exactly.
How about them Mets? Yeah.
It's nice out. There you
No,
go.
it was a lot of fun. I would definitely do it again. I just like it was just so like that's the thing. I was like, oh, this is gonna be so great. This is gonna be hilarious. Like this, and then I got the actual gig and started working on it. And Kevin would come over, our producer. He's like, how's that going? I'm like, like so
You're like,
I like talk in, watch this chick get destroyed for like 15 minutes, and like try to find a way to cut from that to like some weird tentacle thing that I've never seen before.
Whoa, that's so funny. I was so not expecting you to say any of that.
Right.
That's how desensitized I am to it now. Like, none of it means anything to me anymore. I'm just like, all right, whatever. It's images on a screen. None of it means anything.
That's a cool gig though.
Yeah,
but,
definitely.
Damn. So you've been doing a lot of shit, huh?
I have been. Listen, I've had to pick up some weird gigs, as you've seen. No, I just like after I had a lot of work stuff happening over the course of quarantine, and I was working for the Democrats as a community organizer, and it's just been nuts. So I just decided to throw myself into music full time again because I realized that everything I was doing was just supposed to be supporting that work. But when I wasn't doing that anymore, I was like, well, then why bother with any of this?
Right. You're like, what is this all leading to then?
Yeah. So it was just like, fuck it, one last shot. We'll hit it from the 3 and see if it works. And, came up with like a rough idea for like a concept with like the band logo and all that. And it all just fell into place. Like none of it was really like, it was planned, but all I planned was that I was going to release like 9 songs. And then now those 9 songs have a concept and like flow and like, I don't know. It's been, the gigs have kind of helped me form that because I practice a lot of things with those gigs that I now use as a producer and a writer now. Once you score, regardless of what it is, once you score a film, like you have an idea of ebb and flow and how to make scenes work within the song. Did some ghostwriting earlier in the year, but like I've always had weird jobs anyway, so it's not, it's just another weird hat.
Well, it's cool to have all those, quote unquote weird gigs because they can give you experiences that you wouldn't normally have had that can put you in a better place to deal with a different situation
like your
that
own
you never
music
would have thought about.
Right.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, especially for like when you do Eddie scores a porno. Like when you do that, like you have all this experience, right?
I'm back. Let's just really bring it back to the No, I mean it gave me a lot of time in the studio to work and get better at something that I was new at. Doing the podcast definitely gave me like a sense of I started doing music for that, and that was where the beat stuff happened because they're like, oh, these like samples that you're doing where I'm taking clips and making music out of it. They're like, I want that like in my music. So I get these MP3s sent to me of like random porn noises, and I have to figure that out. Like, how am I gonna make this like palatable to like a normal person and not like somebody who's like jerking off? Like it's just weird.
Well, what is a normal person?
I get, but
that's not.
And that's the other lesson that you learn, that like it's just music is music. It doesn't matter, what the context is. It just has to be good. That's really all that matters.
What inspires you to like write music? Like, is it other musicians or is it something else? This is leading up to something.
It's a mix of both. I was really inspired music was therapy for me at a really young age because when my dad died, we grew up in a really poor part of the Bronx, so I couldn't really afford to like go to like a real therapist or like, see anybody who could actually help. I would say like city sponsored, like basically social workers, but like that's not, they're just making sure that you're not like crazy,
Right.
So I didn't really get to explore these things, and I got really into mindful meditation and Taoism at a really like I read the Tao of Pooh and got obsessed with that, and that really started that journey. A lot of what I've been writing has been influenced by that, and like that kind of wanting to put out into the world what you need, whether it's positivity or just like letting people know you care about them, that kind of stuff. So I guess for the record, the main influence is just wanting to give people something that like makes them feel good, because the world fucking sucks right now, and like this is the only way I know how to console people.
So do you think it has as much to do with consoling other people or also with consoling yourself?
It's both. It's me telling myself what I need to hear in a way that like makes me happy, and I get to work on that and really process. Because once you hear those lines 100 times, you start to really absorb what you're working with.
Right.
You know, you look at it objectively, and you know most of the time you realize that what you were upset about really didn't. There was a solution the whole time. You just weren't giving it that time.
Right.
I have ADHD, so sometimes I have trouble like focusing, but I hyperfixate on music. So like that gives me a chance to like go in there and kind of declutter.
You have that tunnel vision.
Cross wires, you know?
Yeah. Do you actually have it, or like, are you? Because some people just say it. Like, are you like diagnosed and that's your like avenue for decluttering?
I was diagnosed with ADHD, OCD, and after a lot of stuff that happened when I was younger, I met with a therapist and a meditation teacher who said that I suffered from PTSD, based on just like stuff that I saw growing up, like in South Bronx, and stuff that happened in my family, like. To me, I was a victim of abuse for a few years. So like a lot of that kind of molds the way that you think about things and like how you approach, you know, the world. And it makes you somebody that you don't want to be. So with this, I guess with the album, it's just me coming to terms like, well, who do you want to be? Like, you know who you are and what you're not happy with, but who do you
That's
want
beautiful.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of the reason that we click so well too, is because I look at things in a very similar way, because I too was a victim of abuse. I was diagnosed with borderline personality disorder, and you know, it is the lens through which like you see the world. And my goal through any type of art that I do, you know, somebody said to me about, it tears me up inside. Somebody had told me that like, oh, well, you're a performer because you're an attention whore. And I was like, whoa, no. Like, that's not who I am. Like, the reason that I like performing is like when somebody tells me, you know, hey, I really enjoyed XYZ. It's not the fact that they're saying, hey, you did a good job. It's that they're telling me that they enjoyed themselves.
Right.
That I made somebody forget about the world being on fire.
That's something you did spoke to them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that something spoke to them, that you made a human connection.
Yeah.
Like, making other people happy or making other people think about things is what makes me happy, and it's what makes me think about things.
That's very beautiful. And also it like, you know, having to deal with kids and stuff like that, teaching kids and stuff like that suffer from abuse, it also helps you forget. Like, you know what I'm saying? Not just the person, it also helps you, the victim, forget for a second, because those tones and stuff like that are very silencing. Like if you and I were, all four of us were just about to go like all together, like it would set some kind of blanket like over like everybody. So it's like everybody shut up for a second. Like this is the emotion that's coming out. I don't think it's about. Sometimes it's about the artist, but sometimes it's about like the message, like what had to get out from, you know what I mean? And you're like that vessel. Like we are like those vessels, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I love just using music and art and dancing and whatever as both escapism and confrontation at the same time.
Yeah.
It fosters a kind of like a safe and cathartic environment. I think that's why we all respond to art so viscerally.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's like that total, expression of what is. The reason why I asked too is because, like, do you guys, well, this is for all four of us, do you ever get inspired musically by just, like, sounds? Like, not just, you know, oh, I gotta think of a word. It's like something outside is like, like, right?
Sure.
Yeah, like,
for sure.
I was watching this thing on the Bee Gees, like, last night. Like, my brother's like, you gotta watch this. But it's like their whole thing, and they, like, a lot of their songs got inspired by just, like, running down the road or, like, listening to the cars, like, the wheel. Like,
I think about that on the train all the time. Like, this, because, you know, even just, like, the subway train has a certain rhythm.
Yeah,
you know
Nas used
He
it.
texted us while y'all were watching that.
Yeah, did he?
My brother?
The Daze documentary. I'm like, bro, it's the middle of the night.
He's great.
Surfers don't create the waves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell
Yeah, they're
I love
like
that.
fishermen don't make the fish, surfers don't create. Chris Martin said that, I think, in the documentary, and he was saying that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I have to watch the whole thing. It seemed pretty cool.
Do you guys ever have the feeling that you're more comfortable on a stage than in regular life, like dealing with people?
So yeah, because like I grew. Well, the thing is, I grew up on a stage. Like I've been working since I was 14 years old.
Yeah.
So like I was doing even in high school. Like I would go clock out of school, go work the shift until like 2, like basically work the late night at a dive bar till like 2 a.m. and then go to class again the next day. So like I am more comfortable on a stage than pretty much anywhere else because like, that's just like where I've been for most of my life.
Mm-hmm.
But there have definitely been times where it was a stage that I wasn't like used to.
Right.
And like there was just a weird energy that definitely threw me off. And like I mean, bombs happen, and when they do, it sucks.
It sucks.
It's the worst.
I kind of like them.
What?
Know,
Yeah, it makes you stronger.
fair. I mean, I take something that my mentor said. He would say like, oh, if you like my dancing, that means you like me. And that's kind of like, that is sort of how I feel like when I perform. It's like, oh, you liked my performance. That means it, because it's such an extension of who I am, and you're laying that out there. But I definitely feel more, I don't know, because I'm pretty chatty. I'll talk to anybody, but I'm also super socially anxious, so I'll be freaking out the entire time.
Right.
But like being on stage, I don't know, it gives you such a freedom. Also to maybe, I don't know, because I have my stage persona, which is just me turned up by like 1,000.
Right.
It's really not that different, but it also feels safer because it's like, if Aladdin Firm really messes up, like regular me, I can kind of like separate myself from that.
Right.
And compartmentalize it in a way. So like Aladdin Firm hasn't really fucked up yet, but there's still time. Like I'm sure it'll happen. And I don't know, it is kind of a good like coping mechanism too, in a way, Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah.
That's something I always thought was interesting about like artists that are like solo artists, and also like I think to an even greater extent it's like stand-up comedians, because there's literally no block between you as a person and like you as the artist. Like if you're telling a joke and they don't laugh, like they don't like you. You know what I mean? Like there's like almost nothing to hide behind.
I think that's why I'm so like bombing skits, because usually it's just me, and it really is. It's like me, a guitar, and I'm going to talk to these people, and if it's not going well, then like it's so ingrained in my head as a job that I'm like, I did a bad job, and now I'm going to get like reamed out by my boss, but usually the boss doesn't care because you're not going to get paid anyway, so it's all kind of
True, and even, I mean, that has so much to do with just like who's in the crowd too. Like you might play the exact same set 2 times, and one time it goes great, one time it goes terrible, just because the people there just weren't on the same vibe.
Yeah.
So like being able to understand that sometimes it's out of your control and it's out of just you as a person is also kind of important to being able to grow from those experiences.
Yeah, and you can always walk away and be like, those people were lame.
Yeah, fuck those guys.
fair enough.
No.
But yeah, we played uptown at this venue that wasn't really quite us, and like we did our best and we did great. Like
the Sugar Bar.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
like when we were leaving the stage, we were like, they weren't feeling that shit like at all. They were like, get off, like But we didn't screw up, like you know what I mean. It's just they weren't feeling it.
Yeah.
I cannot make it work in Midtown, and that drives me nuts. Because it's just like, I can do Lower East Side, I kill it. I'm great. Village, awesome. Once you get me into a position where it's tourist, because I don't want to be there anymore. Like, this is my worst nightmare. I don't want to deal with this. Like, you don't even, what? No, because it's like, the acoustic show is such like a New York, like, show. It's like, I do like Billy Joel and Lady Gaga. It's like a mix of covers and some originals. And like talking about the history of music in New York, this Giant Loser, and I like to go visit the Brill Building like once a month.
You would think that tourists would like be into that because they're like, I want the New York experience.
But then they start yelling at you to play like, do Empire State of Mind. I'm like, yeah, with this one acoustic guitar, I'm doing Empire State of Mind right now. No, and I hate it. I just can't. I can't.
Free bird.
Exactly.
Whipping
sheer
post.
volume.
Anyway, here's Wonderwall.
I've done that to people. I've been people were being jerks, and they kept yelling at songs. I was like, if you guys don't stop it, I'm just gonna play Wonderwall, and I'm not gonna do it well because I only remember like half of the song. And then I did that. I will punish audiences. I don't give a shit.
Isn't that fun though? It's kind of fun, right?
I'm gonna come off all angry. I'm like, that's not what I was supposed to do. I'm better than that. And then I start like hating myself for that. Like, there's no version of this where I come off the stage like, that was great.
Oh shit. That's funny, man. I'm just missing live shows now. That
Yeah.
I was talking about this.
I want to go on tour so bad. I want to go on tour so fucking bad.
Oh my gosh, me too.
I miss all of it. I miss the gas stations. I miss the shitty hotels. It's fine.
Oh yeah.
Not a room. It's outside.
I mean, since quarantine started, well, so I had my first Drag-lesque performance right before COVID happened. I had other gigs lined up. Of course, those got shut down.
Right.
And then being an actor, I've been doing work with my friend's production company as an actor / a director, producer. And so we had to do an online digital drama festival. Oh my God. People who are producing online things now, good for you. There is such a weird learning curve with that.
Yeah.
And acting via Zoom sucks big donkey balls.
Oh man.
Yeah, because you're just like by yourself in your room, right?
It's an okay substitute, but
It's not the real,
It's not the real deal. I hate doing film anyway because there's not that same energy as there is with like I mean, I'm not saying this to sound like, oh, I prefer the stage, but like that's just where I thrive. That's
right.
Just where I do better.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, having to like, there's the weird delay on Zoom and having to stay so grounded in like this fake reality that you've made.
Yeah.
And it's even faker reality is just
an extra layer. Yeah.
God, it really sucks.
Yeah.
Then, man, yeah, we tried to do a musical, and that was
what kind of kangaroo
it
court?
was an adventure.
That sounds like quite an ordeal.
Right. How many of you were there for that?
Don't apologize for art. There was, I think the cast was, I want to say like 12 people.
I could get into it.
It was a lot, and it was ambitious. We tried it, and through that you figure out what works and what doesn't. And there was a lot that we did not anticipate not working. That just, it was terrifying. It was really terrifying. We did it for charity though. So like, I mean, yay, we raised the money that we were trying to make, which
nice.
That was the important part, was like trying to give back. So we succeeded at that. But man, to the people who are producing digital stuff right now, more power to you, because I did it once and I never want to do it again. I don't. I'll be in somebody else's thing.
Right.
That's cool. I've done that.
Right.
Trying to produce it myself. Wow. I mean, it wasn't myself. I was part of a team.
Yeah.
But you were on the production side of it.
No, it is just not. Organizational skills are not my jam.
My jam.
Nope.
That's why I like this space, because I can do things like, what was it? They left to go like an anarchist, like, it was like a leftist like community meeting, like actual like grassroots organizing. Like, yeah, I sat here and I smoked weed and watched The Storyteller for 8 hours straight. And they came back, and I've never felt like more of a waste of space in my life. I was like, because it was just on Amazon, and I love Jim Henson, so I was like, all right, I'll vibe to this, and then I'll get started on recording the song. And then they came back, and I'm like, wait, you weren't gone for 15 minutes? Oh, I've watched 9 episodes of this hour-long, like each episode's an hour and a half. Oh God.
That's date. You can get into a rabbit hole so quick.
Oh yeah, easily.
That's why I put my TV back in the box.
Oh my God, I can't. It's right over. I stop. Oh, that's like the downswing of it, is that now I have to keep myself in check. And I'm just a constantly stoned 16-year-old.
No, but that's the
cannot
thing.
focus.
No, we try to keep each other in check. I'm like I've been like a waif, just sit on his and Ryan's couch. A waif. But we yell at each other to eat. We yell at each other to like take care of ourselves.
I'll be like in the middle of this, like, you should eat something. I'm like, yeah, probably.
Yeah, Yeah, I feel that. There's been times I've been making beats and shit. I'll have to set an alarm. I'll be like, I should probably eat in an hour. I'm gonna set an alarm or I will forget to eat.
Because when it sounds good, you're like, all right, well, why would I put it down now, right when I'm making progress?
Right, you don't want to stop. You just want to keep fucking going.
Because there's nothing like you swearing like your brain is so good. Like, okay, I can go eat. I'll remember how the flow. Like, has that ever happened to you? Because it's definitely happened to me.
Yeah.
And you come back and it's not the same. Like,
it's gone forever. And you can't, and it's the worst.
And I always try to
miking this place.
I try to
mic the whole house.
because I try to placate myself. I'm like, you'll figure, you'll probably hear it again in your head 2 months from now. Something it's just like, no, you won't.
The worst thing is when you're about to go to bed and you get something in your head and you're like, should I record it? I'll remember it in the morning. No, I fucking won't. I gotta do it now, or you'll never remember it.
What was the day I came like straight out of my room and walked right in here to the computer and started working, and then I got mad at my computer because after 15 minutes, like, no, that's not what I heard earlier.
How dare!
In like 3 days, so I didn't want to be mad at you, but I was a little bit.
It was a lot of horns. It was a lot of like boom bap horns, and it was definitely the most annoying beat I could be playing at 8 in the morning. When
Oh my
something's
gosh.
over. And there's like a stuffed alien around there somewhere that like I just like launched it into the ceiling. And I was like, it doesn't sound right.
Damn it!
I'm just like in my hoodie and a pair of sweatpants, like.
You're like, what's going on?
Die.
I was so okay. I'll find it again. It'll come back to me eventually. I needed time away from it.
Man, oh man, that's the worst.
Sucks.
But so
Do you have a release date?
Yep. Midnight New Year's.
Oh right, yeah, duh. We fucking do that.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Oh
yeah.
Myself, like fuck it.
The
Midnight at New
drama.
Year's.
midnight
not?
New Year's Day, not midnight New Year's Eve, right?
No.
We have to now because it's New Year's Eve because the live stream event is on the 31st at 9.
Oh, so it has
Yeah.
to be. So it's midnight New Year's Eve. Okay, yeah. Okay.
So we're doing New Year's Eve live stream at 9 o'clock on December 31st. It's been YouTube Live. There are pre-orders out right now where if you buy your ticket in advance, you get merch, an advance leak of the new single before it comes out. But you do that before the 18th, and a portion of the proceeds is going to Trans Lifeline, which is really cool. Been a lot of fun collecting donations for them. And we're gonna be doing live performances. We've got interviews. People are, zooming in to like talk about the process. Like our producer Kevin and Patty, who was a feature on the album on the song "Here We Go." I got really big and watched. I don't know if you guys have seen Pee Wee's Christmas special.
I haven't.
So, first of all, it's the gayest thing on television, and I'm gonna put that out right at the
It
front
really is.
because it's like
Wow.
Frankie Avalon, Grace Jones, Little
Zsa Zsa
Richard,
Gabor.
Zsa Zsa Gabor,
Wow.
Whoopi Goldberg. Like it's just a cavalcade of like every person who was queer in the 80s.
Little.
True.
The Del Rubio triplets come back from like the 1920s. Like they just like bring them out to do a song. But like we wanted to do this sort of like Wayne's World like live stream show where it's like we've got all these guests coming in and like, we'll talk about the project, wish them a happy New Year's,
Yeah.
Right.
Game stuff ready.
Yeah, talk to some other artists.
Yep.
We're gonna have like some of each of our friends who are other kinds of artists or musicians come and talk about like the stuff that they do. Yeah, it's very much like
It's like
like
rocking New Year's Eve. Like we're
Yeah.
gonna do
Hell yeah.
a lot of songs live for the first time, which is interesting.
That's cool.
Yeah.
We've never done that before because like we just met like 2 weeks ago. So
No,
like
it was like a month
it was,
ago.
like,
That's still crazy though.
It is.
Especially just even this right now, your vibe is like you've known each other forever.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like. I feel
From
like I've known
day
it my
one.
whole life. It's so crazy.
That's what it seems like just to us talking to both of you right now. Just the way that you interact and shit. You know what I mean? I'm not just saying that. Like, yeah.
No, I think we've realized that we're very similar people.
Yeah.
That's why like rehearsing for this stuff has been so easy because kind of we know where we need to be, where we jump in, jump out. We're looking forward to it. It's gonna be really cool. We've had some people tap the album. I can't say anything yet, but some really big names in the industry want me to be on a mixtape next month, which is weird.
Hell yeah.
How many songs are you
Are
gonna
we
do?
sure? Are we absolutely sure? So they're taking the track. So there's a single "Aladdin Firm" on the album. That's the way we're ending the album. It's like the biggest song on the record. I took a shot and I sent it to someone who was like, "Hey, like I'm trying to look for rappers, producers, and singers," and they're like, "One of my heroes." So I was like, "Sure, like let me send it out." and they really fucked it. They said the energy on that is crazy, and they want to put us on a tape with some unsigned artists. So hopefully that
Hell yeah.
through. But no, really exciting things. Really exciting things. Time Magazine picked up the story last month. They said they would let me know when that was released.
Hell yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I can't wait to hear it. I can't wait to. Damn, you're hyping this up so much. I'm like, ooh, I'm ready. Like,
Exactly.
let's go.
Yeah.
You heard it here first, guys. Time Magazine. Jay-Z's gonna be on his album. No, I'm just kidding.
Can you imagine?
This would be a completely different. I would be crying. I would have mascara that I never even put on. I'm not. Even
One
the first
day.
time we got, I immediately cried and puked like an animal because I was like, I don't know how to handle like
Oh
attention.
my god. It was crazy. And when we got the news, I was on FaceTime with my parents. And yeah, immediate just like, he goes, I'll be right back. And like goes to vomit.
I was like, I gotta vomit. I gotta vomit.
I'm on FaceTime with my like, oh my god, my very
They're like, is everything okay?
parents. And my mom and I are just like, I'm gonna have to call you right back. It's like,
I have a nervous stomach. People need to warn me before I get news. Because I come very quickly.
Shoot you a text 5 minutes before saying, I'm about to tell you something.
Right.
And then 5 minutes later, they tell you the thing. And then,
When I
yeah.
can't like immediately deny like positive reinforcement, when I can't do the mental gymnastics in my brain of like, oh, this doesn't mean anything, it's bad. Like I'm not
there's
actually.
so much to
like,
unpack there,
there's
girl.
no way to like confront that. It's just like I have to accept that this nice thing is happening, and like I have to like be cool with that and not freak out because it means I have to try that much harder now.
These are good problems to have.
I know.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
know. It doesn't make them any less like.
Yes,
they take
no,
up space
but
in
like,
your brain.
but that is literal growth. Like what?
It was. It was great. It was great. Yeah, it's gonna be dope.
Yeah, hell yeah. No, I'm super excited to listen to it. Definitely gonna try to be there for the event. I don't think I'm trying to think I should be there for sure. But yeah, no, this has been great. We gotta head out. We got a Zoom thing that we're gonna be part of soon. I don't know if you know Hot Glue and the Gun, but they're doing an amazing show at 5 o'clock today on Zoom. Yeah, that's gonna be a great time. So thank you. We just want to thank you for coming
so
on.
much, guys.
Oh, thanks for
So great to
having
meet you in person, kind of.
Yeah, this is the closest we've gotten to meeting each other in person so far.
That's true. First it's audio, now it's, and then eventually we'll step it up to like.
Yeah, we're getting one step closer every
That's
time
for
to
sure.
actually meeting. So yeah, just thanks again. We're gonna just so you know, we screen record the whole thing and then we put it on YouTube. So we'll have that up tomorrow. If you want to send links out or whatever. And yeah, no, I'm really excited to hear what you've been working on.
Me too.
Thank you.
Really excited to be on the show. Thanks so much.
You're
For
welcome.
sure. Anything you want to tell the people before we sign off?
Just thanks for tuning in. We really appreciate that, and I hope you guys will check out the album. Find us on Bandcamp, and I hope you have a great evening.
All right.
You heard it here first. All right, we'll talk to you later.
Later, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
See ya. Thanks for watching, everyone.